COVID-19, the issue of masks. Let's have that conversation. Hi everyone, my name is Mike Rennick. I'm the team lead, senior broker of Team Rennick. We're part of that great Mangrove Realty Associates family. My guest today is Mr. Steve Reed.
How you doing, Mike?
Steve is the owner and publisher of both the Longboat Key News and Sarasota City News. Let me make a promise right up front when we get into this very passionate discussion. It's not about Steve or I taking sides. It's not sharing our opinions or viewpoints of what it should be or shouldn't be. We respect the right of folks on both sides of the issue. So here's what's happening right now. And let me start this. Late last night, I got a text message where a friend of mine passed away from COVID-19. I do not know if that individual was vaccinated or not. He's up north. He's a snowbird down here. So we're starting this with some sad news, at least on a personal front. What's happened here in Florida is our governor, DeSantis, has signed an executive order stating that at the school level, schools could not require masks for students. Well, here's a fact. In the first 3 weeks of school, there's been more positive student COVID cases than there were all last year. Locally, they went to court against the governor, and they sued, and at least the first judges ruled that schools now have the right to impose that restriction. Again, I've not stated whether I'm for that or against that, but that's what's happening.
Which, by the way, is today. Today is the first day.
Today is the day.
Sarasota County had it optional. It started off optional, which seemed to obviously make sense. If you feel comfortable not, it's mandatory now. You have to wear them, the teachers, the students, everyone in Sarasota County in the classrooms. And that, like you said, follows on the heels of a very contentious meeting. I think the attitude of the schools are, hey, safety first. It is obviously, it's an imposition. The educators, the parents, everyone would prefer this just be gone and everything can go back to normal. But for right now, I guess it's still the new normal. And
well, we know with the Delta variant, here's the one biggest thing that's different with the variant. If you listen to the science, someone who is vaccinated can get the variant, can get the Delta variant, become positive for COVID, and we can now pass it on. And we maybe have no symptoms, so we don't even know that we're sick. In the previous versions of COVID, that wasn't possible. They thought it would stop with us. So this is kind of the wild, wild west. I do have one request on this, and I feel really strong about this point. At the top of the video, I shared I wouldn't share my opinion, but I'm going to share this, something I really want to see happen. You've got folks on both sides of this issue. I want to see the day arrive when people can sit down, disagree on a topic, but still respect the other side. That's what I want to see.
I totally agree.
And when we come back to that level, it's okay that someone feels differently than me. I may be right, I may be wrong, they may be right, they may be wrong. But the point is, Steve, would you agree it's the conversations?
Hey, some of the greatest people historically have been protest and stood up against governments. And sometimes it's the best thing to do, and sometimes it's not the best thing to do. But I can't stand in judgment of all this.
Let's go back a few hundred years ago. How was this country formed? We left what country?
Well, there's a lot of debate on what really happened.
So
you know what I mean? That's a whole other issue. Be careful, Mike.
But we were formed because some people weren't happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Totalitarianism, the imposition of the English church and taxation on the United States, the freedoms enjoyed. That's America.
That's pretty good. I caught you cold because you didn't know we were going down here.
We're the country where if you don't want to wear a motorcycle helmet, you don't have to wear one.
Some states you do.
It's true. But no, Florida.
Let's come back. My whole request is, let's have the day. Let's get the day here sooner rather than later, where we can sit down, we can respect someone that has a different opinion, and maybe we can find some middle ground where everything works.
And as another thing, just anecdotally, it doesn't really, to me, go to what's right or wrong, but this really affects me. Last year, when COVID, before the variant was surging through, those who had been vaccinated, no one was vaccinated. There wasn't a vaccine a year ago. Most of the people we saw passing away had comorbidities and were older. What's very frightening about this variant, you'll see in the news, and you will know locally, people who are younger, healthier. The 33-year-old school teacher, Dr. Verinder, CEO of the hospital, could not help save his father-in-law. You have young sheriffs, people in IT departments. Just locally, there's story after story of 30 and 40-year-olds. That's what frightens me about the variant is people like us who are young relative to the average age of 68 in Florida are getting hurt by this. So that's what frightens me.
So maybe two desires. One, I think everyone agrees we want to see an end to this.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have the virus behind us. And number two, I hope you share my thoughts. That we'd love to see the day where we can all talk about this and we can respect each other. Steve?
Hey, it'll come.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next time with another edition of Out and Around with Mike. Take care, everyone.